Hi YouTube, Thesimplegrower here. I just wanted to record a video this weekend. Haven't done that in a while. I'm going to be making some beef jerky this weekend. So wanted to take you along and show you how I go ahead and do that. I'm also going to make some venison jerky as well, which is really killer. I make some killer beef jerky, so stay tuned for that. Also, I'm going to be processing my pumpkin. I'm going to be taking the seeds out of that and pureeing the pumpkin and freezing it for pies and for soup this winter. Anyway, hope you guys stick around and watch me make some beef jerky. So I just wanted to show you the cuts of meat that I'll typically use for my beef jerky. This is just an inexpensive cut of sirloin steak. It was on sale, so I picked that up. This is a round roast, also on sale, that I picked up. And I'm also going to be using some venison steak that a friend of mine gave me. So those are, I feel like the best cut of meat is flank steak. And it makes perfectly sized pieces of beef jerky. Flank steak, though, lately has gotten pretty expensive. And I found that these other cuts of beef make beef jerky that is really just as good as long as you cut it right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this up. I like to slice the beef for my beef jerky to an 1/8 inch thickness. So I got my machine here, my slicer, and it's all ready to go. And I'll go ahead and slice it. Okay, so this beef was partially frozen, so I'm going to obviously let it thaw out before I put it in the dehydrator and in the smoker. But this is how it comes out after the roast. And what I'll do is just cut this in half to make the size of beef jerky that I like. So here are my 3 cuts of beef that I have sliced up now. And the next step will be to marinate these and let them marinate for probably about, I'll probably let them go probably 4 hours today. You can do it overnight as well. Okay, so I have here everything I need to marinate my beef and my venison for my beef jerky. The basic marinade is all the same. I use the same thing to marinate the beef and the venison. It's when I put it onto the smoker or onto my dehydrator, I'll do different things to make it taste different. For instance, sometimes I'll put brown sugar on it, or I might put a bunch of fine pepper on it, or I might even put some cayenne pepper on it and make it super spicy. So this is my basic marinade. I use a 1/2 cup of low sodium soy sauce. I also use these plastic bags. You can always use a bowl. I use a plastic bag just because it's easy, and I actually reuse the plastic bag. So 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Two teaspoons of pepper. A teaspoon of onion powder, garlic powder, onion powder, a full teaspoon of onion powder, and then a teaspoon of seasoned salt, whatever seasoned salt you like. half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then I'll use a teaspoon of liquid smoke. I like to use this liquid smoke, especially when I'm using my dehydrator. It's not so important inside my smoker because obviously I'm going to use some smoked chips to give that a smoke flavor, but I'll go ahead and put it in here. A teaspoon of that. And that's it. Go ahead and seal it up tight. Get a nice mix around in there. I'm going to go ahead today and let this set for probably just 2 or 3 hours because I want to get it in my smoker and get it done today. So I'll go ahead and mix this up and then put it in my refrigerator. I'll go in every half hour or so and just give it a good jostle. Make sure all the marinade is getting on each of the pieces. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is marinate the rest of my meat here, put it in the refrigerator, and then we'll wait about 4 hours and I'll put it on my smoker and show you that. Cool. Looks like I'm going to have so much beef and venison that I'm going to have to end up using my smoker, which I'll show you in a minute, and my big dehydrator, and my smaller dehydrator. So just wanted to show you that. Before I go any further putting the meat onto the racks, I just wanted to show you one of the variations that I do with my beef jerky and my venison jerky. I like them kind of spicy, so one of the trays, or 2 of the trays, depending who I'm making it for, I'll go ahead and put some more black pepper onto it. So just sprinkle however much black pepper you like. I like lots. So there I have some of my venison peppered up, and I'll pepper up some of the beef here. Okay, so I got the beef and the venison all on my smoker racks and onto my dehydrator racks. I'm going to go ahead and plug in the 2 dehydrators, and then I'm going to go outside and I'm going to get my smoker warmed up. Okay, so I have the venison and the beef in the dehydrator, at least what I want to put in there. Dehydrator, so I set it for 8 hours because that's probably how long it'll take. And the temperature, you set it at 160 degrees for dehydrating beef jerky. Out here, hopefully with the glare, you can see my jerky all lined up in my smoker. Okay, so I got my smoker plugged in, and now it's just time to wait. I'm using hickory chips this time because that's what I had, and I'll probably let it go ahead and smoke for about a half an hour and then take the wood chips out and just let it dry the rest of the time. So it's dark out here, but I wanted to show you the beef jerky inside of my smoker. It's looking really good. Still got a little ways to go. The smoker doesn't produce a lot of heat, which is good, and so it just takes a little bit longer for it to smoke up and to dry up. So I reckon this dehydrator is probably at about probably 140 degrees. I should put a infrared on it to see, and maybe I will later, but anyway, just wanted to show you what's going on with the beef jerky so far. So my smoker was taking too long to really get this beef jerky to where I like it to be, the dryness anyway. So I brought it inside and put it on my dehydrator to finish it off. I tasted it, the flavor is really good, really smoky. So when it's done dehydrating, we'll see which one I like better, the straight up dehydrated or the smoked first then dehydrated. I don't know. I don't know. My smoker, I don't think, is getting hot enough to really get it to where I want it to be. Anywho's, here's the beef jerky and the venison jerky from the dehydrator that I did earlier. Looks really good. I'm pleased with it. That one right there is my super hot one with the crushed red pepper on it. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the videos about me making beef jerky, and hope you guys try it. For me, it's a game changer. I really enjoy it, and I really like to eat it, and I'm going to be putting up a lot of that. All right, everybody, take care. And just as promised, I'm processing my pumpkin. Gonna go ahead and roast the pumpkin and extract the seeds and roast those. And yeah, next thing to do. Okay, I have my pumpkin all laid out, and I'm gonna go ahead and roast it. I'll roast it at 400 degrees for, I don't know, it might take 45 minutes. We'll see. I'll stick a fork in it. If the fork goes in easily, then the pumpkin's done. If it has kind of a hard time piercing through it, then let it go a little bit longer. No big deal. Okay, I got my pumpkin pieces into my oven. Luckily, I didn't have to use my upper oven too. And we'll cook those now for about 45 minutes. So the pumpkin's out of the oven. It's done roasting. Looks delicious. And my pumpkin seeds are soaking in some salt water. They're going to be getting ready to go in. I'm going to let this pumpkin cool down, and then I'll put it through my food processor and puree it so I can freeze it up.